So, Your Honor, with the complaint that we received from Congressman Lara in April 5, we immediately forwarded actually on April 6, the day after, to the concerned auditing unit as required under the COA memorandum dated number 2020-014 dated September 30, 2020. This is actually the revised guidelines on the delineation of the authority and responsibility in the evaluation of complaints, information of fraud, and requests for fraud audit and other cases. To simply put, Your Honor, we have actually complied with the specific procedures in the COA memorandum, and at this point in time, this was already elevated to the COA Central Office for the final disposition and review of the Fraud Audit Office. So it is the decision will be coming from the Commission proper in the Central Office.
Kung ako ang governor or mayor, wala akong exception coming from the Comelec. During the 45-day period, ipinagpatuloy ko ang aking social program katulad ng financial assistance in the eyes of COA. Is that valid? You have found several violations involving hundreds of millions. Do you have any specific recommendation regarding this issue based on your COA report?
Yes, Your Honors.
And what is your recommendation?
It is in our can I state
ano ang recommendation nyo para marinig ko at ng mga kasama ko?
Yes, Your Honor. We recommended that the province of Cagayan submit a copy of the province compliance with regard to the submission of amount disbursed during the 45-day ban in compliance with the certificate of exception issued by the Comelec and Bank for our final evaluation, sir.
Sinasabi ko, you are always saying to us that there is a certificate of exception issued by the Comelec and Bank. Do you have a copy of that certificate?
Yes, sir. We have a copy, sir.
What is the date of that certificate of exception?
Sir, I think the date is the date of the resolution, sir. Meet resolution is I think it was mentioned that's given this 25th day of May, Your Honor.
Okay, so if the exception was given on May 25, does it validate expenses made prior to May 25? As COA auditor.
Sir, may you please repeat the question, sir?
Okay. If the exception was granted by the Comelec on May 25, does that exception validate all the expenses which were made prior to May 25? Yes or no?
Sir, as regards those who denied by the Comelec, Your Honor.
You answer lamang. Ang sagot ko lamang, at the time ang question ko, at the time the expenses were incurred, was there already a certificate of exception duly promulgated by the Comelec?
None yet, Your Honor. There's none, Your Honor.
Kung wala, ano epekto?
Kung wala pa, Your Honor, there is no authority coming from Comelec, Your Honor.
So what would be the effect if I were the governor spending public funds during the 45 period without exception on the part of the Comelec? What will you do to me as COA auditor?
Sir, that's we issued our findings, Your Honor, and we are evaluating, Your Honor, the responses made by management to justify their
ano pa justification action mo kung wala kang exception during the 45 period? What are the possible valid arguments to justify the expenses during the 45-day period without any exception coming from the Comelec. Mr. COA Auditor.
Sir, one reason might be it is a regular regular program, sir, and it is a social welfare.
Okay, pag
Welfare.
regular programs ba, hindi na kinakailangan ang exception ng Comelec? Mr.
Hindi na
Comelec. If it is a regular program of the Comelec, of the LGU, does it need to have exception coming from the Comelec?
If it is one of those prohibited and which needs
No,
an
regular programs.
regular,
Pamimigay ng financial assistance. That is a regular program of the LGU. During the 45-day period, kinakailangan bang humingi kami ng exception o hindi? Ang LGU.
I think it should pass the Comelec, Your Honors, kasi titingnan
Ano
ko.
yung it should pass? Kailangan may exception.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So even if it is a regular program, I was a former mayor for 12 years. It so happened that my lawyer happens to be no less than the chairman of the Comelec. Ang sabi niya, Mayor, kahit na regular program yan, financial assistance, paano ka ako yung mamamatay ng nasa ospital? Hindi ko pwedeng tulungan. Pwede niya, pero humingi ka ng exception. So Mr. COA, ito na Comelec. Hindi justify yan. Kahit na social program, katulad ng pagtulong sa mga nasa ospital, ginagawa yan ng LGU. Pero during the 45 days, kinakailangan humingi ka pa rin ng exception. Is it right, Mr. Comelec?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chairman.
And financial assistance to those who are hospitalized will be an example of a social program of the LGU.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr.
So,
Chair.
Mamba, proceed from there.
Sir, we are just waiting for them to
Kaya
To
nga,
submit, Your Honor.
ang tanong ko simple lamang. Kung ako ang governor or mayor, wala akong exception coming from the Comelec. During the 45-day period, ipinagpatuloy ko ang aking social program katulad ng financial assistance in the eyes of COA. Is that valid?
Your Honor, it may be valid if it's not
Okay, it
prohibited
may be valid.
under Comelec resolution.
Tandaan mo lang tayo, it may be valid. And what are the possible grounds that it could be considered valid?
If the expenditure, Your Honor, is in accordance with Comelec resolution number 10747, Your Honor, and the Omnibus Election Code, Your Honor, allowing.
Okay, ito nang sinabi nyo rito, ito ba in accordance with the ruling, with the Comelec resolution? Anong resolution yung sinasabi mo?
Your Honor, at the moment, it is not compliant with the
Kaya nga
Comelec.
ano possible defenses ko kung ako ang nag-spend nang walang exception, although that is a social program which I have been doing for the last 12 years.
Your
Ano
Honor,
possible defense ko?
we are just we cannot preempt the reason
Kaya
of management, but we're just
ano ang mga
awaiting
possible
them.
defenses na posible.
I cannot speak for them, Your Honor, but we are just
But you
waiting
are the
them
COA
for
resident auditor eh. You will be the one determining whether the expenditure should be allowed or disallowed.
Yes, Your Honor, but I will just wait for the response, Your Honor, on our rejoinder, Your Honor, and then from there we take
Okay,
it, Your Honor.
today is already May 23. Do you have any rejoinder coming from
Yes,
the... Oh, what is the rejoinder?
we issued, Your Honor, a rejoinder from the reply, and we are just waiting
Ano ang
for
reply nila?
Wala pa, Your Honor. We are waiting, Your
Pero
Honor.
paano ka magre-rejoinder kung wala reply?
Your Honor, we issued a rejoinder on the reply, Your Honor. From the AOM, Your Honor, they replied, and then we
No.
issued a rejoinder,
What is
and
the
then we issued
reply?
a rejoinder. We are waiting for the reply on our rejoinder, Your Honor.
Ano ang reply muna ng provincial government? May reply in writing.
Yes, Your Honor. They have a
Oh, can
reply,
you
Your
furnish
Honor.
us a copy of the reply?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
In substance, what are the arguments raised by them in the reply?
Your Honor, they anchored their reply on the certificate of exception issued by the Comelec, Your Honor. And-
Balik tayo ng balik sa certificate of exception. Nilinaw na ng aking kaibigan na ang promulgation will be the controlling factor. May 25. Oh,
Yes,
aside
but
from
this-
that, ano pa depensa nila?
that based on the local government code, Your Honor, in general welfare clause, Your Honor, under the Constitution, that incumbent upon the Chief Executive to look after the welfare of the Your Honor, of the residents of Cagayan, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Comelec,
Yes, Your
can local government officials invoke the general welfare clause, the welfare of the inhabitants, to make expenditure during the 45-day period without exception coming from the Comelec?
I think they said to pass through the Comelec, Your Honor.
Okay,
Exceptions.
so wala yan. Otherwise, all the rulings of the Comelec and even the rulings of the Department of Budget will be useless if we shall always be invoking the general welfare clause. Third, wala na. Yun lang ang dalawang depensa.
Sir, medyo mahaba po yung reply nila, sir. We just furnish you a copy, Your Honor. Medyo mahaba po yung reply nila dun sa AOM namin, Your Honor.
So, nag-rejoinder kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, number one, your adverse findings. Binigay nyo sa Cagayan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or those findings stated in the COA report.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is yes?
It was
Wala
stated,
tayong
Your Honor.
separate communication.
Meron, Your Honor. May mga...
We want to have your separate communication. Number two, the reply of the provincial government. Number three, your rejoinder.
Yes, Your Honor. We will comply, Your Honor.